Hi, welcome to my Makeup Monday for this week. My name is Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast. Now this is Monday the 4th of September, which is pre-recorded. This video is pre-recorded because I'm actually away at the moment. So welcome. So today I'm going to do the split negative technique. I've done this before, but when I look back in my YouTube videos, it was 2 to 3 years ago. So I thought I'd do it again, and we're going to use the perfectly detailed stamp, the large background stamp in the annual catalogue. So let's turn down to our craft desk and we can get started. Okay, so in the annual catalogue, perfectly detailed is on page 119 down here in the bottom right corner, and it's one cling stamp. It's $44 and this is what it looks like. You'll be able to see it better. It's beautifully detailed stamp, and these stamps with the detail like this in them are perfect for the split negative technique. They're also good for other techniques. I've got another card here somewhere on my desk that I've got photos to be done. There's that one I've done. I gold embossed this and blended some ink over the leaves and the flower. So that's another showing the beautiful detail in this stamp. I'll get it out of the plastic and then you might be able to see it better. So it's just gorgeous, it's stunning. And I just used, on this one, I just used the little baby blending brushes to do the little bit of blending. So I've got that aside to take photos of. I'll put it back in there. Okay, so let's get started. So there's a bit of heat embossing in this, which I'm sure will be fine. And I've got my August host codes blanked over because it won't be valid in September. So I've done that because I thought that was a good idea. Okay, so all I've got for this card is a black stitched stylish shape die. I've got a black piece and a white piece of cardstock, 10.5 centimeters by 14.4, and a card base. So I've gone with my thick whisper white, basic white card base. So just checking my volume, my microphone's working, so that's good. Don't want to get all the way through the video and find that that's not working. I think I'd cry. Okay, so we need to get Versamark ink, and we need black embossing powder and also white embossing powder for this card. So I have a big block. It's not a Stampin' Up! Block. All my big blocks are downstairs where I run classes. Now I haven't put the sticker on the back of this stamp. You can see the sticker's still here. The last time I tried to put a sticker on the back of one of these big stamps, I got into one heck of a mess, and I vowed and declared I would never put another sticker on a big stamp again, on the big background stamps, because it was just not a pretty sight. I ended up having to buy the stamp again because I just put it on and then I didn't get it straight. It was bubbled and I was trying to peel it off and it tore all the foam. It was a disaster of the highest order. So that is my reasoning behind not putting the sticker on. Okay, let's play with our black piece first. So we're going to stamp it twice. Versamark with white embossing powder on our black piece, Versamark and black embossing powder on our white piece of cardstock. So just do that, and I will bring in a scrap of paper because since we've gotten rid of the since we've gotten rid of the, what was it called? Not the Stamp-O-Magic. Stamp positioner that we had. Stamparatus, that's what it was called. Yay, I remembered. This is the way I do my large stamps. So I'm just inking it up with Versamark ink. Versamark is a sticky ink, and therefore the embossing powders stick to it on our cardstock. I'm just going to get my black, and I'm going to, this was the side that I put the embossing buddy on, and the embossing buddy just gets rid of any static and doesn't allow embossing powder to go places you don't want it to go. So I'm just lining it up, and then I'm going to press down, fold my piece of paper over and press down like this. I do this because I can't get my hands around a big large background stamp block, and I find this is the easiest way for me. I'm just making sure I get good coverage of my Versamark. I do miss our Stamparatus. And now I'm going to get the white embossing powder. Just making sure that I've covered that well. Looks good. Fingers crossed. Oh. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle my white all over. Turn it round. Do down here. There we go. There's not many places to hang on to it once you've done it. Now, I haven't lined that up. I haven't centered that 100%. If you center it really well, you do get 2 cards out of this technique. But I'm going to probably only get 1 because I've got a little bit skew width. But that's okay. So let's put that there and get rid of our white embossing powder. So this is the embossing toolkit that's in the annual catalogue. I don't know off the top of my head what page number it's on, but I believe it's $49. That's how much it was when it came out, and it only came out the catalogue before the annual catalogue, the last mini catalogue. So it's relatively new, this kit. And it's great. It makes embossing so much easier. If you can get the lid on the jar. Okay. Oh look, I've got it all over here. Now how did I do that? Honestly, it does tend to go everywhere even though I've got a tray. Okay, so I'm going to get my heat tool. Now I will turn some music on while I'm heat embossing because it's a bit noisy. Our black one done, and as I said, I did fall off the paper a little bit on this side, so I'll probably use this side for the card. So back we go, and we're going to get our embossing buddy for our white piece of cardstock and just rub that over there, and we're going to do the same on the white piece of cardstock, but we're going to use black embossing powder. So inking up our stamp again with the Versamark sticky ink. And turning this over and trying to line it up. As I said, I do miss our Stamparatus. I could probably still use it in videos, but I just don't like using something that people can't buy, which is a bit sad. So I'm just rubbing over so I'm getting all the Versamark onto my piece of cardstock. Okay. And I think that looks pretty good. I shall move my big background stamp to one side. And pop this in here and get our black embossing powder. This is a beautiful stamp. I've seen quite a few nice things done with it, and I hope to play with it a little bit more. Not sure if I've lined this one up either properly. I think I have. Yay. See, you could just emboss it straight black and straight white, but this technique's just fun. Okay. I have got a couple of bits where I don't want it. So where's my little paintbrush that I get rid of little bits? There's a bit here. I don't want that. I don't want those. So let's see if that's worked. I believe it has. Okay, so we'll get our embossing powder back in our jar. Just takes a minute. And you've got your little brush in your toolkit that you can just scrape all the rest of it in. So this brush is actually meant for what I'm doing with it now. It's not meant for picking off little bits like I did just a minute ago with the tiny brush I had. Okay, so let's put this lid on before a disaster happens. Put that there, and we'll bring this back in. And once again, I will turn the volume down and put some music over the top for the heat embossing. Okay, so that's white with the black powder one. Make sure I've got everything covered, embossed. I'll just do a little bit more here just in case. No, it was right. Just didn't look right. Okay, so I can pop that back in there and put my little paintbrush away and get rid of this. And just make sure that I have no powder anywhere, because it's like sand, it just gets everywhere. It gets into all sorts of places you don't want it to. And you know what, the best thing to get rid of it with is one of these Pledge Grab-It cloths. This is what I use to dust my house with, and that picks up all the grains. Here we go. So we've got our black piece and our white piece, and we can leave our ink out for a minute. Put it there. And this is our card. Okay, and this is our card base. So what we're going to do is cut it exactly in half, both pieces, and then we just match up the opposite colours. So let me get this, and so this is 10.5 centimeters, so we want to cut it at 5.2 and a half. There we go, just cut in half. And the same with this. This is 10.5, so we want to cut it at 5.2, 2 and a half. Straight in half. Okay, so we have our card base. Now we just got to get our two halves together. So this one would be, if we went this way with this piece, it would be the opposite to that, which would be okay. I'm just got to just double check that it's lined up. Okay, or we could go with this one. Either way, you get two cards or two card fronts out of your makings. Now see this one, oh no, it doesn't seem to line up as well, so I'm not happy with that. So I shall go back to this one. So it's just a matter of getting the one that you feel has lined up the best, and then making sure it does line up. Now I think I need to take a fraction of this one and a fraction down here, just a fraction, the slightest fraction. I did it with a beautifully Baroque stamp a few years ago, and that was a little bit easier because it didn't take up the whole card front. Little tiny bit easier it was, and a little fraction off here. Well, that didn't work. I think I'm needing a new blade. I think I've maxed it out, my blade. So once again, I'll just bring it down low so I can see it. Yes, that's fitting better. Okay, so now I'm going to open up our card front. We're going to get our glue, and we're going to, if you wanted to, you could attach it to a panel, but I've just done it straight onto the card front, the card base. That's entirely up to you. If you attached it to a panel, you would be able to wrap some ribbon around it if you wanted to, but I think there's enough going on with this stamp. It doesn't need ribbon. That's just my personal thoughts. So there we go. And then this one will match up like so. So we'll put glue on the back of this. And touch it, line it up. Just hold it down just to, doesn't it look stunning? It's just a real wow, this technique. But you just need the right stamp set or stamp to do it. Now I shouldn't have anything hanging over. Oh, just the slightest fraction there, but that will be okay. So I'm just going to go down the middle like so. Just making sure my glue adheres. And then I've got these two pieces that I can make another card with. But I wasn't happy. I didn't sort of cut that very well. It's not quite in the center cutting through there, so I will use them somehow, some other way. Okay, this one I used my little banner. Here we go. And we used white embossing powder and Go To Greetings. I didn't get that down. Let me just grab that. Okay. So I'll get my favourite little happy birthday out of the Go To Greetings. So I haven't finished with my embossing toolkit. Silly me. So when it's the 4th of September, when this video is live, it'll be 2 days before the mini catalogue goes live to customers, and you can purchase from the new mini catalogue. That will be this one. So I will be getting all those out to my customers before I go away, and this is available from the 6th of September. Does it say it on the back? It should. Yes, 6th of September to January 3rd. So I will be getting those out before I go away. So you can place your orders with me while I'm away. That's not a problem. Just go online and place them through my online store. If you go via my stampingpassion.blogspot.com, it will automatically attach the September host code. I'm just going over here. I hope I got that straight. It's hard with Versamark because you can't see what you're doing. Okay. And get my white. So now I need my little tiny paintbrush, because I've got embossing on black cardstock is very difficult. It's fraught with danger. See, I'm just stuffed that up. Okay, let's just go with that. We're not even going to bother packing that up. I'm just going to grab our tweezers, which are also part of the embossing toolkit, and our embossing. So this will only be a second. Here we go. I'll pack that away in a minute. Get rid of my little paintbrush. Okay, so here's my sample card. I put that up there. I might put this one down here. I don't know why. I just think that's a good spot for it. I don't know why the change of top or bottom, but anyway, that works. I might put a third one on, just for the fun. Okay, and really all this card needs now is a little bit of bling, I think. It doesn't need a lot of tweaking. I'm going to put that, where will I put it? Here. Make sure I get it even. Make sure my head's not coming in. I think I might have masked my head. That sounds funny, doesn't it? Okay, what are we up to? 26 minutes. I thought I might have gone longer with this technique, but I haven't. Iridescent pastel gems. No, I did iridescent rhinestones on this one, and I thought that looked really nice. So let me just find them. Here they are. And so I've just done 3 of the smaller ones because I just thought that looked really nice. And just a bit of bling, bit of shimmer. Where did that go? I dropped it, I think. Where did it go? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't even get it off. Here we are. There we go. So that's our split negative technique. There's some rhinestones, go back there. I hope you like it. It's just a little bit different, and you need a fairly heavily detailed stamp for that one. So this one worked beautifully. I hope you really liked it. It's a nice technique and it's really fun to do. So let's go back to, yeah, here we go. So that's the split negative technique using, there we go, using the perfectly detailed background stamp in the annual catalogue. The stylish shaped dies also in the annual catalogue. They're great dies to have. And the go-to greetings for the happy birthday. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I will be back with you on Friday, the 8th of September, for my card and a cuppa, which will be pre-recorded. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.